Morning, students. So now we are going to talk about litmus in details, what it is and how do we conduct litmus test also. So first let's understand what is litmus. Litmus is a natural dye. It is a mixture of naturally occurring dyes obtained from lichen, and I am repeating lichen word, a symbiotic association between alga and fungi, okay, which is found in the bark of the trees. So normally if you talk about how the litmus look like, the litmus is look like a powder, okay. So it look like a dyes, they obtain in a very different color. So the lichen is also found in many different color, most of them is red. So it is a powdery thing, but it is highly soluble in water, okay. It's soluble in water. It is soluble in water very fast. So now how you obtain a litmus indicator? So when you mix this litmus powder with water, then water become litmus indicator solution. Litmus indicator solution. When you mix the powder with water, it produces a solution, that is a litmus indicator solution. And now this litmus indicator solution, it has a special property that this solution turns red in acidic solution and it turns blue in basic solution. That means if you mix this litmus indicator solution, it is a litmus powder mixed with water, so it is a litmus indicator. So when this solution act as a it act as an indicator, and we will put some other solution which you want to know what is that solution, it is acidic or basic. Let's say you have another solution which is under test and you want to know whether it is acid or base. So if you put this in this solution, if it becomes red, that means it is acidic in nature, and if it turns blue, that means the solution under test is basically basic in nature. So this is the property of litmus indicator solution, and it turns red in acidic solution and blue in basic solution. In fact, this property of litmus indicator, it is used to find out whether a substance is acidic or basic in nature. And in neutral solution also, litmus solution with neutral solution, if you put it in a neutral solution, what will happen? It will neither turn red nor turn blue. It will turn into a light purple in color, which you call as mauve color. Okay, so that is because the solution is neutral, okay. So why do you think is litmus used as an indicator? Because of this different color. It react differently with acid and base. Okay. It gives red color with acid and blue with base. And that is what we were looking at. An object at an immediate. So it turns red in acidic solution and blue in basic solution. This is good enough to say that litmus used as a indicator, okay. It is in fact a very commonly used indicator, okay. To make the litmus paper more convenient, instead of using litmus solution, litmus papers are more commonly used because they are easy to handle and the tests also become more simple or convenient. So how do we obtain this litmus paper? Now once we prepare the solution, these litmus paper we will found in our laboratory. So how to change? All we need filter paper. So filter paper having a fine pores. Like when you prepare tea, after preparing tea, what do you need? Strainer, so that you can separate the tea leaves from the tea. So these filter paper are having very tiny pores, and these they pass any solution through it, and the hold back the solid substance. Okay, so you take some filter paper and put the litmus solution into this filter paper, and this filter paper completely absorb the litmus solution, and then dry it. So this paper will take the color of the solution. So paper will completely absorb the solution, and as I told you, the most commonly available litmus paper is red and blue. So they are cut into a thin strips, and then it become very convenient to use these strips as an indicator. So these are very common indicator which is used to test for acidic and basic solution as well as neutral. So when you put them inside the solution, if the solution is acidic, if the solution is basic, it turns blue. In fact, that is the reason we have to find, you have to see the different kind of litmus paper, red and blue color. Okay. Why it is in two color, red or blue? So let us talk about this. So why we have two different color of litmus paper? So if we only have red litmus paper, in that case it will become difficult to decide which one is acidic, because when the red litmus paper is put inside the red acidic solution, it remains red. Okay, but if the same red litmus paper put inside the neutral solution, then also it become red. But the decision why to find out whether something is acidic or not is become difficult for us. So why that is why we use both color, red and blue. Okay, so we don't have any type of confusion. Okay, so let us now look at the litmus test. So now we are ready with the litmus paper and how it behave differently with acidic and basic solution. Now when this litmus paper is put into the solution which is acidic in nature, what happens? The blue litmus turns red. So this much part is in contact with the solution, so this blue changes to red, because we already know that litmus solution, when litmus solution come to contact with acid, it turns red. So we use blue litmus paper, it become red, which specifically show that this solution is acidic in nature. Okay. Now in this case, if you use red litmus paper, what will happen? There will be no change in the color, because acidic solution turn litmus paper into red, and red litmus paper remains red. That is why to test acidic solution we use blue litmus paper, so that we can distinguish the change in the color. Okay. On the other hand, if you want to test basic solution, you use red litmus paper so that it turns blue. So for basic solution, B for basic, B for blue. For basic for solution, blue. For basic solution, the color changes to blue, and for acidic, the color changes to red. This is a very simple test, and it is very convenient also, because we only use strips. Okay, we have to use litmus strips. So always remember this, that in basic solution the color changes to blue. So we use red litmus paper, and in acidic solution the color changes to red. That is why we use blue litmus paper. So this is basically the litmus test. Now you might have thinking that what happened to the neutral solution. So in that case, the neutral solution show no changes in color. Okay. So if you, for a neutral solution, whether you put a red litmus paper or a blue litmus paper, both of them do not show any change in the color. Okay. So one very important thing you have to note it here, that whenever you have to test whether a solution is neutral or not, you have to perform the test with both paper, with red and blue both. Okay, because if you want to use, if only you using a red litmus paper and the color doesn't change, then there are two possibility maybe happen. Might be the solution is acidic in nature, because the acidic solution also show red color, है ना. Okay, so or the solution is neutral. So you have to in order to find the conclusion that the substance is neutral, you have to test with both red and blue litmus paper. If both of them shows no change in the color, that means the solution is neutral. So this is very important thing. So do not confuse with this. Okay. So for neutral test, please make sure you have to check with both blue and red, both litmus paper. Okay, then you are able to conclude that the substance is neutral. So no change in color of red and blue litmus paper when they are put in a neutral solution. Okay, so you have to remember this. Now let us see what happens when this litmus test perform on various substances. So we spoke about a lot of substances, acidic or basic or neutral in nature. Let's see what are the results of test. So first let's take an example of lemon. So lemon contains citric acid, that is acidic in nature. So when you put lemon solution, you take out the lemon juice, take it in a bowl and put blue litmus paper. The blue litmus paper turns red. And when you put red litmus paper, then there will be no change in the color. So this shows that lemon is acidic in nature. So relatively, when you try base, that is soap so you take soap solution in a bowl, and here you use red litmus paper, because only with solution this test will happen. Okay, so for this the blue litmus paper turns red. And the third is sugar. You will not see any change with red or blue litmus paper, so we can say that sugar is neutral. Okay, so this is how we can test without, we got rid of tasting a substances and then decide whether a substance, what is the substance. So this is basically more convenient and more simple way to decide the acidity, basicity, or whether a substance is neutral. Okay, without tasting it, which is not good. Okay, because it may be harmful. So let us look at next natural indicator, that is turmeric. So turmeric is a very common thing which we often use in preparing foods. So something which you often find in kitchen, and this act as a natural indicator. So the solid turmeric yellow in color, yellowish in color. If you haven't seen the solid turmeric, it look like a ginger. So in the powder form, it look like yellowish in color. It is a very common ingredient which we use in our food items. You all know haldi, we can say in Hindi. So for turmeric also, we first create turmeric paper. So how we create a turmeric paper? The same way we have created the litmus paper. You have to take for these filter papers. So then you make a turmeric paste, take a turmeric powder, mix it with a little bit of water and make a paste, and put that paste on this filter paper. Dry the filter paper properly, and what do you see? Then you obtain a yellow color filter paper. Then you cut the paper in thin strips, and these strips act as an indicator. Okay, so we can use them in a similar way how we are using the litmus paper. And now we see how the litmus paper turmeric paper changes the color. So the turmeric paper, it remain yellow in acidic solution. There is no change in the color when it is put into the acidic solution. And when it is put in the basic solution, it become dark red. When acidic solution, it remain yellow. When it put in a basic solution, it become dark red in color. So we can then decide whether the solution is acidic or basic in nature. Now the question that arises in your mind is, what about the neutral solution? So the neutral solution also, the color will not change. So how we will distinguish between the acidic and neutral solution by using turmeric paper? So with neutral solution, there will be no change in a color. Now when I say no change in color, what I mean is, no matter whatever the color is of the paper, it will remain unchanged. So to distinguish between acidic and neutral, what do? We can use this strip of turmeric paper, which is half red, which is earlier put into a basic solution that become red. So the same strip you can use here in order to find out when you put the the paper which you put in a solution and it become dark red. So when you put that paper into a neutral solution, the place where it becomes red, it become yellow in color. So then you can find out that the solution is a neutral solution. So when you have to decide whether a particular solution is acidic or neutral, what you can do is, you can use the same strip which you have first used in the basic solution and then check it in a neutral solution. Okay, then you are able to find out which solution is acidic and which is neutral. Okay. Let's just look at the third indicator, which is China rose. China rose is a very common flower which is also known as hibiscus. It is also known as gudhal in Hindi. It is also called hibiscus. Okay, you will find them in your garden or anywhere. I know all of you have seen the hibiscus flower. So how can we use this flower as an indicator? So you have seen that how we are preparing the papers with the solutions. So in the same way we have to do this with the China rose also. So what do is, we take some China rose petals, only the petals, red petals, and take those petals and when you put in a bowl, contain some water. That water should be warm. Okay, warm water. Okay, you have to put these petals into a warm water and leave it for some time. After some time, what do we observe? That the color of the water becomes reddish in color. Okay, so initially the color of the water was colorless, but after some time the water gradually changes into a red color. Not dark red immediately, but first it is in a reddish pink or light red in color. Then you should know that this solution is now ready to act as an indicator. So this is the solution which we are looking at. This is how we prepare the China rose indicator. So once you have a China rose indicator solution, then how you are going to perform the China rose test? So again, you take some China rose solution in a bowl, which is reddish color solution. Into that solution you put some few drop of acidic solution. The acidic solution turns into dark pink, whereas the basic solution turns green in color. You take the solution of hibiscus in a beaker. If you put some acidic solution in it, it changes into pink color. If you put some basic solution in it, it changes into green color. So looking at the difference in color, you can easily identify which one is acidic and which one is basic. Okay. And in case of neutral solution, there will be no change in color. So this is how we use China rose as an indicator. With no neutral solution, it shows no changes in the color. So for neutral solution, it is always remain indicator do not really react with the neutral solution. That is why there is a no change in the colors. Okay. So now we are going to talk. This is not a natural indicator. this is, but this is also an indicator. So in the structure of phenolphthalein, there are 20 carbon atom, 14 hydrogen atom and 4 oxygen atom. Okay. So this is the chemical formula of phenolphthalein. So in this you have 20 carbon atom, 14 hydrogen and 4 oxygen atom. So this is the formula of phenolphthalein. This is a chemical compound which is colorless and it is highly soluble in water. Then again we make a solution by mixing it with water and use as an indicator. It is also called PHPH because of its such a big name. Sometimes it is difficult to use such a big name, so we use PHPH as short form. Okay, phenolphthalein. And the pH is taken from here, and that is why it is called PHPH. Okay. So how do we prepare the phenolphthalein indicator? In that case, we take some phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein is actually obtained in the form of powder. So that powder form, a little bit of powder form is taken and it is mixed with the ethanol solution. Phenolphthalein powder with ethanol solution. Okay. And a small amount, 0.5 milligram of powder should be enough to form a solution. So ethanol solution is nothing but ethanol mixed with water. So we have both equal amount of ethanol and water, 50% of ethanol, 50% of water, and this makes a ethanol solution. And ethanol is an alcohol, C2H5. Okay, C2H5. So you take ethanol solution and then you add 0.5 gram of PHPH, phenolphthalein powder. This mixes with water, so you get a phenolphthalein solution. It is highly soluble in water, and then you can find out you get a phenolphthalein solution which you use as an indicator. Okay. Now the question is, how do they perform a test? How the phenolphthalein solution react with acid and base? So this turns colorless in acidic solution, but it turns pink in basic solution. Okay, so the difference in color is the only way to tell whether it is acidic or basic in nature. Okay, so it become colorless with acidic solution and pink in basic solution. So these are some indicators which we use to decide whether a substance is acidic or basic in nature. So in the next video, I will let you know about neutralization. Okay, so we will study about what is neutralization reactions, what is about neutralization. So neutralization is what is the concept of neutralization? We're going to talk about that. Okay, thank you class.